Students, in our previous class, we have already learned about the derivative meaning of education. So, today we will discuss the narrow and wider meaning of education. Now, talking about narrow meaning of education, we can say that this kind of education is provided under the premises of school, colleges and universities, and it is a planned and organized process. This type of education is confined to the teaching within a four walls of a classroom. Okay, and the education of a child starts when he enters the school, college or the universities, and ends only when he completes the course or leaves the educational institution. Here a teacher means a mature person. Okay, try to impart knowledge to the immature person. Immature person here will be the student, and he tries to modify the behavior of the student and also inculcate some kind of values, beliefs, habits in students by adopting the proper curriculum and method of teaching which is followed in the school. The main focus of this kind of education is to the classroom teaching and also the book learning. Now we will discuss the wider meaning of education. Education in a wider sense includes the totality of influences and experiences that an individual acquires throughout his life from birth to death. That means every kind of experiences or knowledge which an individual acquires throughout his life from birth to till death, that kind of education is called as wider meaning of education. It is a lifelong process. That means every experience of a life, every activity is educative. We learn from the playground, from the library, we get knowledge from the newspaper, from the temple, from the market, from the office, everywhere. So this kind of education is called the wider meaning of. Now we will do a comparative study between the narrow and wider meaning of education. Education in a narrow sense is limited to schooling instruction and pre-planned activity. That means whatever knowledge, experience a student used to acquire during schooling instruction, that kind of education is called a narrow meaning of education, which is pre-planned. Whereas in wider sense, education is a lifelong process. That means throughout his life, whatever an individual learns, that is called a wider meaning of education. Next point is education starts with the child entry into a school or a place of instruction. It means when a child enters into the school and during that process, whatever knowledge or experience he acquires, that is called a narrow meaning of education. Next point is education ends only when life ends, and it is promoted by every experience of life. In a wider sense, education ends only at the time of death. Okay. The next point is the aim of education is to impart knowledge and to pass the examination. In narrow meaning of education, more focus is given on passing the examination, whereas in wider sense, more focus is given on all-round development of child personality. That means physical, mental, moral, spiritual, from every aspect a child should be developed. Now, from the above discussion, okay, what we have learned, what we can conclude, that education in narrow sense is limited to a schooling instruction. That means whatever knowledge a student used to get in a school within a certain period of time, that is education. Okay, and there in narrow meaning of education, main focus is given on passing the examination, and after that degrees and diplomas is awarded, and on that basis only a person is considered as educated person. Okay, and it is very pre-planned activity. Whereas in wider meaning of education, it is not something confined to the teaching of or learning of within a four walls of a classroom, but it is a never-ending process. It is a lifelong process. A child education starts when a child is born. Okay, from that time onwards, his education starts. It continues throughout our life and ends only at the time of death. And whatever experience, whatever knowledge, whatever habit, whatever skills a child, a student has acquired during that period, okay, during the during his life. So that is the wider meaning of education. So this is all about narrow and wider meaning of education. So that's all for today class. Thank you.